Let me know when you can see my screen. And can you hear me
Yes, Mr.
clearly? Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Ashad. We can hear you clearly and we can see your screen.
All right. Okay. Hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Arshad Mahmood. I am today. I'm honored to give this short talk to you guys. And let me start with, let's say, imagine a world where your computer could not only understand your requests, but also take actions on them automatically. A world where tedious tasks, like mundane tasks, everyday tasks, vanish and creativity is promoted. And that's the promise of actionable AI, which I will be sharing, discussing in next few slides. And today we are going to explore how we are moving beyond AI that just and not only analyze the data, but does things, but take actions on them specifically through the power of Gen AI, like LLM, ChatGPT, those, and with combining with AI agents. So what is the out? What you're gonna get today is, okay. What is the sorry? Okay. Today, in key takeaways from today's session, again, this is not an in-depth session. This is just only I've been given 15 minutes to talk. I will just touch base, and if any one of you does not have much knowledge about AI agents, we'll try to give them a little overview of AI agents and try to install some kind of uh, curiosity and interest to learn that fascinating technology that is rapidly evolving and rapidly being adopted by the community. So understand, first thing is to understand the shift to AI that does the things, and what is the difference. The next key takeaway from this session will be the key differences between AI that creates and AI that acts, and learning about combining these AI type boosts efficiency, right? And how to incorporate means I wouldn't give more detail about how to incorporate, but just how at the high level how that AI agents and Gen AI can work together to make our life more easier and more productive, and gain a clear understanding of the practical use of AI. And so let's get started with our next is slowly moving. I don't know why. Okay. Actionable AI, moving from ideas to impact. So over the last 6 years, we have seen, in fact, 10, 20 years, you can say, when this deep learning coming in, where this ResNet, YOLO, all those were evolving. And then the latest Gen AI has been evolving, coming out. It's mostly considered as something you tell the computer and the computer will give you the output. The PC, the machine will give you the output. That's it. Now the shift is okay, done. We have again enough intelligence now in the terms of Gen AI, generative AI, LLMs. Let's go to the next step, which is shifting from AI that analyze, AI that acts. Okay, from just receiving the data, but now let's get the machine to do act on that gathered data from the machines. And this means turning our data and concept into tangible outcomes, right? Two key drivers are the generative AI that is considered as the creator, and the AI agents, which are basically the executioners of that creativity that is coming out of Gen AI. So basically combining the actions logic with the generative knowledge, the creativity knowledge together to come up with more better outputs, more better outcomes for the human beings. All right. So now the first, as I mentioned, there are two key players in this thing. One is the generative AI. The other one is the actionable AI, which is called AI agents. The generative AI, as you, I think, no need to do much introduction, but you already know that, for example, your ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, these are all the generative AI. Why is called generative AI? Because it generates new things, new ideas, new concepts. Like, for example,
Ravi, have
generate.
you received the webinar calendar?
I'm sorry.
And then you open the calendar.
Uh, I'm sorry. It's something for me? Somebody's talking without mute.
Yeah, you may continue, Mr. Ashad.
Okay. Okay. All right, sorry. All right, so generative AI, it's your creative partner, and for example, why it's called generative AI? Because it generates new contents, it generates new ideas based on your context, based on your prompt. For example, generates images, creates images out of nowhere, and creates articles, rephrase your emails, even you provide the context, it generates emails for you. For example, generates music, videos, and even code like Python or C++ code. It can generate from this. Now, it is creativity, of course it is creativity, but some people argue that no, this is actually you already have taught the llms to during the training all these things, and now the gen ai is just mix and match all those concepts into create new content in a more creative way. So it's basically it will give you only what you have told during the training. But if some concept, like say if you're told teach during the training how to do the C programming, then only it can generate C programming code, but not Python if you haven't given the Python, and vice versa, those things. But anyway, the results are absolute mind-blowing with the generative AIs. That is extraordinary results are there. But again, this is again a passive AI. It's considered a passive AI. Why? Because it does not really take any actions based on the output. You just give a prompt and you get the results. You get an image, output image, and then you take that image to do something meaningful, or you take the code and execute manually by yourself. So that AI is still considered a passive AI. Now, this whole equation, the missing part was which, as I mentioned already, we have achieved a state where the Gen AI is already quite intelligent, is and say, to use to take meaningful actions on you to do something more meaningful to the next step, right? This is our human thing, that whenever we reach to a pinnacle to something, then we start thinking about the next step. So for the last few years, we already have reached up to a stage where in the Gen AI that now do the next thing. What we can do, make it more worth it, make it more uh, versatile. So that's where the AI agents comes into the picture, which is the intelligent automation, which this is about how to do meaningful action, how to take meaningful actions from based on the Gen AI data or the AI, passive AI data, how to use them in more intelligently. Like for example, autonomous tasks, systems that perform tasks independently, they perceive, plan, act, and in their environment. Examples are the automated customer support, robotic processes, automation. Now, what is this perceive, reason, and act? Perceive, plan, and act actually basically is they gauge the data, they read the inputs, they read the, for example, in an industry, they read the all the environment variables, including the sensor data and all those things, and then they perform some level of reasoning on it, reasoning through. They are not they are just the executioner, right? So they don't have the brain. So you can consider Gen AI is their brain, and they use the chat gpt kind of models, those things, to reason to on that data, and then they ask those models to give them the output in a way where which they can use to take actions. And once the data comes out, they act, they have the logic, they've been written the logic to act on that output coming out from Gen AI, and that's where the whole recipe is made for the actionable AI. Now, I, here I just give you a very high level understanding how the AI agents works. Again, the focus for this whole talk is basically to give a little more intro on the AI agent side of the thing. Gen AI, we already know, we already use a lot, right? So the AI agent architecture is there. Please mute if you are not talking. Thank you. And AI agents are okay. Can be many types of AI agents. Simple AI agents, they're just simple, just take the input and do the action and then out. And some AI agents are more intelligent. But they intelligently use the Gen AI models to create more intelligent, next level intelligent behavior, I would say. So here I'm just giving you a brief very high level architecture of a code generating agents. Now, how does that work? You give a problem, you give problem statement to the AI agents. How they do? They actually divide that problem into subtasks, break down tasks into more manageable steps. How they do it? They use the Gen AI LLM models to break, because Gen AI is more intelligent. So, for example, they make a query about the problem and tell the Gen AI, "Hey, this is my problem. Help me to break into more subtasks." And then the Gen AI will divide that problem into more, and then they ask for each of the tasks. They generate the code, Python based code or C language. Mostly is Python is the more the trend is basically to generate Python because it's the interpreter, easy to execute, no compiler, nothing. So that's where mostly they do go with the Python based code. And then once the code is generated, because they tell the Gen AI, "Hey, this is my subtask which you gave me. Now generate the code for me to execute." And then later I will share with you a real world example how this thing is divided. Then the execution is done on that code, and the result are taken from all the subtasks and then combine them again using the LLM. Those results are passed back to LLMs, Gen AIs, to with the problem statement and everything, and Gen AI then uses that information to create a final answer for the user. Now, so this is a very kind of a high level flow of one of the most popular AI agent types architecture, we can say code generating agent. And here's the question to the AI agent is, like, for example, a user may ask, how many seconds would it take a cheetah at top speed to run across the Golden Gate Bridge? Now, the cheetah is different domain, right? Golden Gate Bridge is different domain, and I don't think so. Nobody have, or maybe very even on the internet, you may not be able to find that information right away, right? So how, if you are a human, how you going to answer that question? What you will do, you will first try to find the top speed of a cheetah, right? You're gonna Google it, you're gonna search and see, hey, what is the top speed? Because this is a very common knowledge. What's the maybe 70 kilometer per hour or 80 kilometer, whatever it comes in. You're gonna note down that thing, and then another query you're gonna later on in the next query you will send to the Google. Give me the length of Golden Gate Bridge. Once and that information, once you retrieve that information, then you're gonna divide, multiply those things, and get the amount of number of seconds that would take by the cheetah to cross that bridge. Right? This is way a normal human will do, and exactly similarly, the AI agent will do the job. This for this particular case, what it will do, the agent receives the question. This, for example, the very same question about how many seconds would it take to for a cheetah to at the top speed to run across the Golden Gate Bridge. It breaks down the problem into smaller manageable tasks. First, it will create Python's, it will ask the Gen AI, okay, before even that, it will tell the LLM model, hey, this is my problem, break it into manageable tasks. The LLM will give, okay, fine, will give back, hey, first you need to find the length of the Golden Gate Bridge, then you find the top speed of the cheetah, and then calculate the time it would take. Once these three tasks are created, then the AI agent will go in the next pass. It will create a web search API query to find the length of the Golden Gate Bridge. Then in the next query, it will ask the Google or whatever, whoever the behind the search engine is used to get the top speed of cheetah. And then once the Python code will execute that and give the results, the search results as it is back. Those results will be combined back to the Gen AI, and Gen AI will look for the relevant information and then generate another code with that information to calculate the final answer for the time. So that's how, this is a very high level idea about this is how this kind of problem will be done, solved by the AI agent. So pretty much many of the whenever you ask questions and these kind of things will run behind the scene by the AI agents. Okay, now set aside. Let's go back to the concept because I just gonna be wrapping up. Already 15 more than 15 minutes done. Before and after. So traditional AI, which is the passive AI, focus was on mostly on analysis, prediction, right? But now the focus is more on actions. Means okay, when we have enough predictions already, a lot of models are giving prediction. Now, do what to do next? Let's go do something meaningful from those predictions, and that's where the actionable AI is coming into the picture in the form of AI agents. And the example, just one example, and shown you in the previous slide. Right. And the human role in the previous traditional AIs, the human role was interpreting, acting, or those things. So the data is received, and the human take that data and do the action based on their data. But now the human role will be mostly like overseeing, guiding, just making sure everything is in doing well through some telemetry and those things. Automation was limited in the previous in the passive AI, but now the automation is more high, more involved. Content, human created contents, but now the AI generated executed contents are there. In the previously, the speed, the overall the doing the task was slower. The end result was achieved a bit slower. But now the end result, when you say end result, means the overall going is faster. For example, just now the speed of cheetah, that example I showed. Previously, human will extract the data here, this then the other place, and then make the final calculation. But now just one query and behind this and everything done, and you get a result right away. So similarly, in other areas also with AI agents, much faster results are achieved. Uh, some of the examples are content creations and marketing. Before was AI data was generating the data analysis, reports, content creation. It was slow, less personalized. But with the after now with the AI agents involved, generates personalized contents based on the user, automated deployment, real-time adjustments. Fast is highly personalized as well. Supply chain management, uh, AI demands prediction. AI last time AI just was giving predictions to the user. Hey, now this amount of inventory you're gonna need or something. Human were doing the inventory logistic decisions, and results was slow response to changes. But now moving forward with the actionable AIs is getting more and more involved. AI agents are automated inventory control, shipment adjustments. All those decisions are being made by the agents behind the scene, and humans are just overseeing those kind of decisions, just making sure everything is doing as expected. And maybe who knows, after many years, when this too much confidence is built, even human will give everything to to the AI agents. Do it and just give me the final report. Generative AI is optimizing plans. Results are agile, proactive, supply chains, those things. Synergy again, generative AI creates the plan and AI agents execute it. Exactly. Like plans creating the task into subtasks, and then the AI agents gonna execute that subtask. That's what it means. Examples: generative AI designs are marketing campaigns, AI agents automated its deployment, and these combinations unlock powerful end-to-end automations. Of course, some of the very quick one I will go through some smart home ideas where what you can, for example, in your, if you want to explore, you can like scheduling and reminders. Imagine an AI agent that automatically schedules your meetings and appointments, even for finding the best time for everyone. And it sends you reminder for important tasks, so you never miss a deadline. Again, this is something we are going towards what we see in the science fiction movies, the futuristic movies where AI is doing all those things. So basically, this AI agent's gonna enable that reality, that imaginations into reality. Email management or shopping and errands, smart home controls. You can see that AI agents can control your lights and everything based on different variables that are involved in your home. Automatic daily operations industry, data entry, reporting, those inventory management. Of course, AI agents are getting more and more involved in inventory management, customer services and support, automated quality control. Those things also AI agents are heavily utilizing Gen AI to analyze the data and create manageable tasks in order to come out with the exceptional result, I would say. So the conclusion is the key takeaways is generative AI enhances creativity and content generation, and AI agents are the, the thing that actually make it to the next level. They streamline automation and decision execution. Uh, combining both unlocks new levels of productivity. So that's all I have for this short talk. Thank you very much. I hope I didn't took too much time. I was
Okay,
Mr. Ayman, back to you.
yes, yes. Thank you, Mr. Arshad, for your insightful exploration of AI-driven automation. Your knowledge has provided us with a deeper understanding of AI's role in efficiency. So, I have a very short question for
Mhm.
you, which is what are the risks of relying too much on automation and how can they be mitigated?
That's a very, very good question, very burning question, actually. And frankly speaking, yeah, we I don't have a definite answer on for that because the way this whole technology is proliferating into our lives and everything, we are getting so much dependent on these things. It is to me. I'm a bit pessimistic, to frankly speaking, I would say. But on the other side, if I look at the past, I give you an example. Uh, because this question comes out, people say, Is AI going to take our jobs and all those things, right? I give them an example. In 1950s or in the middle of the previous century, when the machine revolution, industrial revolution was coming out, the industry 2.0, I guess, when the machines were taking over, people were quite afraid, quite scared that machine is going to take their job at that time. And what happened, that actually those machines, those industries created huge amount of new jobs for them, right? A huge amount of opportunities for to earn money and all those things, right? And people at that time, when the machine revolution was coming out, had a similar kind of sentiments at that time. Hey, if we rely too much on machines, what will happen to us? But see how things were transformed and how this whole thing transformed means a lot of new millions of new jobs were created. Similarly, this is we are in a in a time frame where the similar revolution is happening right now in front of our eyes. And uh, if and I was reading a study report from economics, forgot the name, that this whole AI transformation actually gonna kill millions of jobs, but it gonna create millions of new jobs for us. And the key point over here is that rather than stick with your old technologies, the way of doing work, the way we used to do, try to learn this, try to embrace this whole thing into your lives, try to learn, try to get yourself equipped with the new knowledge, skill set, so that you will be relevant in the new era rather than just becoming obsolete. So the message to you, yes, it could be relying this too much will make us obsolete unless we prepare ourselves for the upcoming future right now. So it depends. The question answer to your question is it depends how we're gonna react to this whole thing. I
Okay,
hope I answer your question.
okay. Thank you, Mr. Arshad. So there is another question from our guest, which is curious about the automated KPI monitoring for office workers. Could explain further what is practical tools or system for it?
I think there are some proprietary systems that actually utilizes some vision. They involve some vision-based detection, like what the workers are doing and how they are uh, whether they are sitting or just chatting or actually doing some action. Basically, you have to train the model to learn what is when they are doing something, whether this is productive or just wasting time. So those kind of you need to teach the model, and then based on their data. Monitoring will be done and the data will be gathered, and at the end you can give that data to the gen AI to come up with the meaningful answer that how much time the how much percentage of the that whole thing was productive and how much time they spend. Now about the automatic KPI monitoring, again this is, I believe, some of the companies already have some solutions to that. uh, this is a customized thing. This is not something that is readily available open source. I haven't seen anything yet, but it is certainly possible, very much possible.
Okay, thank you,
Oh.
Mr. Arshad. Okay, great insight. That it's fascinating to see how AI is evolving, not only analyze data but also take meaningful action that drive efficiency. Okay, moving on to our next speaker, Dr. Sima Ahmadpour is a senior lecturer at the Graduate School of Business, University Science Malaysia, with a strong background in teaching, research, and IT consultancy. She earned her PhD from the National Advanced IPv6 Center at USM and has taught a diverse range of subjects, including data science, cloud computing, and IoT. With years of experience in academia and research, her expertise spans statistical modeling, AI, and intelligent decision-making systems. Today, she will guide us through the science behind generative AI and autonomous agents, exploring how AI is revolutionizing automation and decision-making. Let's give a warm round of applause and welcome Dr. Sima Ahmadpour to the stage.
Hello and good afternoon to everyone. And can you hear me?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to be here today with you to share very short knowledge related to the science behind generative AI and autonomous agents. Okay, so thank to Mr. Arshad for highlighting the different applications and examples related to generative AI and autonomous agents. So in my presentation, I'm going to talk about the science behind them, what is going on briefly, not in deep, so that you can understand the evolution and the science behind these technologies that it's very hot trend these days. Everyone is talking about AI, generative AI, and now the autonomous agents. Okay, so let's move on. Just a moment to make it in a presentation mode. Yep. Okay, so the core principles of generative AI is about the machine learning, neural networks, the algorithms, and the scientific breakthroughs. And we are going to talk a bit about the core principles. And also in terms of the evolutions, mechanism, and the applications of AI and autonomous agents, I will explain a bit about how the journey begins from the AI, generative AI, autonomous agents from time to time. And also I'm going to talk about the inner mechanisms and working processes of these evolutions. And then I will uncover the wide array of the applications that is used in this area. And then the AI term background and or neural network graphics. So in terms of the feature trajectory of generative AI and autonomous agents, the ethical considerations that we need to take it into account, and as well as sustainability goals and the responsibility to align technological advancement. Okay, so As you know, the generative AI is based on the AI systems capable of creating context like text, image, audio, all those things based on what is behind in their database. The system keep on learning and then generates the contents based on or align with the users' objectives and favors. Okay. While anonymous agents are again the AI systems that can perform tasks independently, mimicking the human decision making. So they add decision making, planning. So later I will explain in more details about how autonomous agents are working. And we want to know why the generative AI and autonomous agents matter these days this much. Everyone keep on talking. If you look at any research field in any advertisement, people are looking for those who are expert, who have enough knowledge in this area. And this evolution in recent research field and recent work job market is really demanding. Okay. So let's look at the timeline of AI evolution. So starting from 80s, we have the early AI system. So they are based in the rule-based method. Later, from 90 to 2000, by having the machine learning revolution and working very close to the data as the core of machine learning, it evolutionized more. And then from 2015 onward, the time that we are having now, the rapid advancement in generative AI and the foundation models especially attract much more attention related to this area. Okay, so as you know, the early AI, which as I said, is rule-based system. So it depends on the rules that is created by human, and these kind of systems are working based on the predefined rules. Okay, so for example, the applications that we had during our time that can play chess, that can play different games, and human can play the computer-based games. Okay, so it's kind of predefined rules which is created for the computer that human can work and can interact with the computer. Okay, so move to the next, which is machine learning. So it's basically data-driven models, means that it has ability to learn patterns directly from the data. Okay, so this kind of systems have moved from the rule dependency. They are no longer dependent on the predefined rules, and also they can enable the models to predict the outcome based on the observed information that they have in their data. Okay, and then as an examples of these models, we can say decision tree, SVM, early neural networks. So these are the enablers of the machine learning systems. Last but not least, the generative AI. So it's a foundation model based. So as an example, I would say GPTs. They are powered by deep learning and foundation models. They are able to create novel contexts such as text, image, and so on. Later, I would give you more example on that. So they are able to excel and mimic the human creativity. They are able to solve problems, generate personalized experiences. So it's not just injecting data, they just analyze the data and give the output. So for these generative AI systems, they are able to make a decision and they are able to mimic the human creativity so that they are more interesting for the users. Okay, what are the foundation models? So normally they trained on vast data sets like text, can be image, audio, okay, whatever that you can consider as data type. So they are based on the wide range of knowledge. Okay, so the system can train. And also this training process enables the AI to recognize the pattern, the relationship between different parts of the data so that they will be able to create the output. Okay. As an example, for the foundation model can be GPTs. They can produce the natural sounding language and generate the interact artworks. In terms of the mechanisms, I would say that generative AI relies on advanced mechanism to process and generate data effectively, like neural networks. As you know, neural networks is functioning based on the human brain functionality, and the logic behind the neural networks will help this system to mimic to think like human and mimic the way of thinking, creativity, and the reactions of the human in different fields. Okay. And in terms of another mechanism are the transformers. Transformers also make them able to uh, interact and function based on the human, and the functionality will be similar. The other one is attention mechanism. So this kind of mechanism captures the most important part of the data. They are designed to capture and find out that particular data and then do the rest of analysis based on the target data. The applications of foundation model can be text generation, image synthesis, audio, and the music production industries. Okay. So let's talk about the transitions from the generative AI to autonomous agents. Okay, so we already know about generative AI and about the autonomous agents. If we add the reasoning, planning, and decision making into previous generative AI, then we can have autonomous agents. Okay, so since these autonomous agents are able to have memory, so they can store the data, recall the information, and then they will be able to make a decision very relevant to the data that they have. Okay, and then they will be able to be adaptable, adjust their decision based on the behavior or every changes related to the feedback that they gain from the environment. Also, the goal-oriented behavior, it helps them to perform the task within the specific objective. Okay, so then they can have the prioritized actions and achieve the desired outcomes. Okay, and the very interesting examples for autonomous agents, I would say the virtual assistants like Alexa, Siri, or Google agents. Sorry, Google assistants that will help us to do the task and to, based on the uh, request from the user, we can have these virtual assistants. Another one, the robotic process automation. This kind of applications are able to streamline the workflow by automating the repetitive tasks, time-consuming tasks like invoicing process, data entry. Okay, so in this case, users are not forced to do all these repetitive tasks. Mr. Ayman, how much my time left?
3 minutes.
Oh,
Okay.
3 minutes. Okay, let me wrap up. Okay, so so the science behind autonomous agents is, let me make it faster. It's about the perceptions. So these perceptions comes from their understanding from the environment. So sensors and all those tools in the environment can help them to recognize the environment. For example, self-driving cars. So by having many kind of sensors or information from the environment, the self-driving cars will be able to detect the routes, any crash happened or any traffic jam, then they can redirect and make a new decision based on what they receive. Okay. Reasoning will help them to make informed decision by analyzing the environment, predicting the outcome, and selecting the suitable actions. Okay, like virtual assisted reasoning. In terms of planning, these autonomous agents will help us to break down the complex tasks in order to manage them better than before. For example, in business, data warehouse robot planning can find the shortest path to pick the delivery item or to send them to the destination. In terms of the execution, the physical or virtual actions can help them to achieve the objectives like drones. The delivery drones are able to navigate the correct location and safely deliver the package to the destination. In terms of the learning, they can adopt based on the feedback. For example, everyone knows about the robotic vacuum. So they can learn from the layout of the home and then perform the cleaning better. For this kind of agents, they use the reinforcement learning technology as well as multiple agent systems. So these applications can work in healthcare, business, education, and also creative industry. So I just briefly explain the businesses so they can streamline the processes, automate different processes within the business, and then they can avoid time-consuming and repetitive tasks for their employee. Okay. So, as every new technology, although they have many advantages and benefits, but we should consider their downward, and also their shortage, and the problem that we may face by using those technologies. For example, in autonomous agents, the data privacy is very important. You know, when we are detecting the data, analyzing, processing, and then it will help us to make a decision. But what will happen to the data if somebody misuse them? So the privacy is always an issue. And the other one is bias. You know, when we are using the mechanisms and algorithms, so the result out of that may face by bias, and it may lead us to make unfair decisions, and because of the training data that has bias. And also another challenge is the computational cost from the autonomous agents. So for them, we need a very huge computational power. And to avoid these kind of challenges, we need to be ethical. Our rules should be transparent, accountable, and we need to consider the social impact out of those agents. And also, it is better to have a framework for the ethical AI design, and also bias mitigation techniques. And we need to consider the energy efficient AI models to ensure that we take care of the social impact of it. And the future prospects, I would just briefly talk about it. It can enhance decision making, it can personalize the interactions, and also we can have the potential for innovation in the climate changes and space exploration. And so as in conclusion, generative AI and autonomous agents are not just the tools, and we can have creativity, we can have efficiency. They are able to solve the complex challenges, and also when we have human hand and robotic hand joining together, then we can have a better harmony between human and AI. So at the end, I would refer to this and this idiom from the Peter Drucker. The best way to predict the future is to create it. So it's meant to humanity's agency in shaping AI rules. Okay, that's all from me. If you have any question, please feel free.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sima, for your detailed insight into the science behind Gen AI and autonomous agents. Okay, I do have one question, which is, what are the limitations of current AI in achieving full autonomy in decision making?
Yeah. The most important limitation, I would say, is about the data, the privacy of the data. Okay, so most of the data which is very important for the decision making, is under the different agencies like government sectors or private sectors, that they are not willing to reveal their data that can affect the final output of the autonomous agencies. For example, in some part of the countries, they are not fully, they don't have fully access to the data, and this may affect the result of the autonomous agents. So, as I said, the limitations, one of the most important limitations is based on the privacy of the data, and so I hope soon it will be rectified.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sima. It's inspiring to see how Gen AI is evolving and how it can be leveraged across various industries to drive innovation while maintaining ethical standards. Okay, so without wasting our time, let's move on to our next speaker, Ms. Azura Binti Ahmad, the Assistant Vice President at Talent Corp Northern Region. She plays a key role in engaging with companies across the electrical and electronics, healthcare, and manufacturing sectors, while also overseeing talent development in Penang, Kedah, Perlis, and parts of Perak. With over 20 years of experience in HR, she has worked with various companies in Bayan Lepas Free Industrial Zone, Penang, and Kulim High Tech Park, Kedah, before joining Talent Corp in 2019. Since then, she has been actively facilitating talent needs mainly for companies in the northern region and supporting industry across Malaysia. Ms. Azura holds a master's degree in management from USM and bachelor's degree in political science and sociology from the University of Arizona, USA. Today, she will be presenting on AI-powered decision-making for efficiency in public and private sector, highlighting the role of AI in transforming decision-making process for greater efficiency. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Azura Binti Ahmad.
Thank you, Aiman. Welcome to the webinar. I have enjoyed listening to the previous two presentations, and it's very technical. So I would like to make a disclaimer that my presentation is not technical because I'm not from a technical background, but I promise that I will try to make it as interesting. So actually, AI in Malaysia is about, maybe 60 to 70%. So I'm not going to go into process, but I'll just highlight some of the efforts that we have done from the ministry and also at our agencies level. So without further ado, let me share my presentation. Can everybody see?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, for those who have not heard about us, we are a government agency, a federal government agency under the Ministry of Human Resources. So our siblings are like, Perkeso, if you have heard of Perkeso, HRDF, and so on and so forth. So we have been established in 2011, and our function is like as a middle person between the demand of talent and also the supply of talent. And we are not a recruitment agency. We do not engage at individual level. So we just connect demand of talent with supply of talent. So this is our tagline. for Malaysia to progress, Malaysians must progress. So we drive Malaysia's talent strategy, identify critical skills needed and find solutions to talent issues to develop a globally competitive, creative and innovative first world talent base for the country. Partners with the public and private sectors. We collaborate on initiatives that attract, nurture and retain the right expertise needed to meet current and future talent demands. And we have been appointed as a think tank to KESUMA, which is Kementerian Sumber Manusia or the Ministry of Human Resources, to make sure that we are relevant with the evolving challenges within the Malaysian workforce. Okay. So the topic of AI. So these are all AI quotable quotes that I found from the internet. Now, I do not know all of them, and I can say that I believe in them because AI is here right now and AI will stay. So we must embrace to be relevant in this day and age, especially in making fast, accurate, and efficient decision making. So I would like to share some facts. Malaysia ranked number 33 in the Digital Competitiveness Index. So among APAC region, we rank number 8. So this is just to show that AI and Digital Competitiveness Index play a very important role in our country and also in our region and also globally. Okay, I have heard previous presenters saying that, AI can take our job, this and that. It can be potential that automation can be a threat to the workforce, but it can also provide an avenue to increase productivity and outcome and also leading to a higher national GDP and faster economic growth. So we have to look at AI as to complete us as a human. Without human, AI cannot, maybe cannot progress or something. Okay. And then I would like to share a little bit about what we did at our agency. We were tasked by the Minister of KESUMA to be a think tank, and we have to undergo conduct an impact study on AI, digitalization, and green economy. So we as I mentioned earlier, we are the middle person, so we know about what are the demand side, the needs for the talent, and we also work with academia side to make sure that we produce the right talent for our economy. So we want to build a government's intelligence capacity to craft strategies for policy development, advocacy, and future planning. So since we know that AI is here and will take some people's jobs, so we need to be ready and make sure that the people that will be replaced by automation still have a job. We need to upskill them, give them new training, and so on and so forth. So we have conducted a study on 10 sectors. And right now, we are undergoing a second phase. The first phase was launched last year in November. So phase 2 right now, we are embarking on healthcare sector. So for phase 2 also, we will launch the report this year once we complete all the 10 sectors. So this, I will not go to the process of decision making. So all of these are the outcome of, realizing that AI is important, and we embark on the impact study, and we share with the public on how important AI is, and we have to be agile and make sure that ourselves are equipped with all the skills and competency to be relevant. If you are not relevant, then you will be obsolete like dinosaur, and also like maybe the recent cases like Nokia, for example. They do not equip themselves with the relevant skills, so they cease to operate, and other people take their place. Okay, so this is the impact study that we have undergone. 10 sectors, and the key deliverables are, impact of AI, digitalization, and green economy to industries, roles and skills, and also how to see the impact on the Malaysian workforce. We need this information to update the Malaysian National Skills Registry, where we have all the roles and competency part under this My NSR. So now we have a new what we call skills for AI, digitalization, and green economy. So My NSR is the central platform with information on occupation and skills. So this is to align to internationally benchmark and accepted standards from other countries. This will assist in policy coordination and human capital planning. So we at Talent Corp, we are not a policy maker, we are a policy implementator. Okay. All right. So let me share a little bit about how from the impact study, how we can see that AI and digitalization are used in public sector. It can from healthcare sector, we have My Sejahtera app that uses AI for pandemic management and vaccination scheduling. So we have urban planning, where I give you a case in Penang Green Agenda 2030 that leverages on AI for sustainable development, and also from energy transition, where we have National Energy Transition Roadmap, NTER and ETR, that uses AI to achieve net zero GHG goals by 2050. So what are the impact? Improve citizen services, e.g. faster healthcare responses and so on. Enhance resource allocation, for example, optimize energy usage, increase transparency and accountability in public administration. So these are all the impact from how we use AI in public sector. Then in Northern Malaysia, efforts to integrate AI are already underway. For example, with the launching of Penang Silicon Design at 5 km plus, an initiative, and also Perlis Digital Plan 2021 to 2025. This is to strengthen Malaysia's semiconductor industry in alignment with National Semiconductor Strategy and Access, and also to create a digitally inclusive society and boost innovation through technology-driven solutions. Example 2, we have initiation of Greater Kedah 2035 and Penang Green Agenda 2030. So this is under green economy. Empower green areas in Kedah as natural sanctuary and preserve natural resource sustainability. Key pillars of Penang Green Agenda 2030 includes green economy, environmental sustainability, social equity, and inclusion to create a more sustainable, resilient, and equitable future. So when we talk about AI, we also tie it with digitalization and green economy to be aligned with the ESG, environment sustainability, and what's G? Okay, anyway.
Governance.
Governance, yes. Sorry. Thank you. Okay, here is an example of AI in the private sector. In electrical and electronics, there's an end-to-end factory digitization for supply chain and manufacturing processes, AI-driven predictive maintenance to avoid downtime. And in medical device sector, digital therapeutics for virtual treatment and diagnostic, 3D manufacturing simulations for improved production planning. And also in global business services or GBS, they have AI powered back office processes like claims processing and customer feedback analysis, automation of routine tasks to improve efficiency. The impact: cost savings, reduce operational costs through automation, faster decision making, real-time data processing for quicker responses, improve customer experiences, personalized services through AI insights. So these are the impact from using AI. So these are the key findings from the impact study of phase 1. There are 10 key sectors studied, impacting 3.5 million employees and contributing to 930 billion to GDP. 129,000 jobs, about 20% of 630,000 employees in 3 sectors will be highly impacted by AI in the next 3 to 5 years. And then there are 14 emerging roles identified with 88% related to AI and digitalization and 6% in green economy. Employer trends: increasing demand for AI, digitalization and green skills even in non-tech roles. Employees are seeking talents with proficiency in big data analytics, cloud computing, and sustainable manufacturing. So if there are students in this webinar, please take note that these are all the proficiency that companies are looking for right now. And if you have or don't have these skills, you maybe need to think on how to get yourself better equipped. Okay, for the sake of this webinar, I'm going to focus into 3 sectors: electrical and electronics, medical devices, and GBS, because these 3 sectors are thriving in Penang and also where I'm currently based. So these are the key findings from the 3 sectors. If you can see in all of these boxes, it summarizes the the key findings. So from the study, we found that the adoption of digitalization is high across the 3 sectors, while advancing towards higher AI and green economy trends. So around 200 jobs roles assessed, with 13% identified as highly impacted. That means 13% out of 200 jobs will be replaced by automation. 68% will be medium impacted, meaning that still need human intervention. 10% are low impacted, meaning that no matter what, we still need human to drive the job. And 9% are emerging roles. And we have 129,000 jobs, or 20% of the 630,000 employees in the 3 sectors are expected to be highly impacted in the next 3 to 5 years. The highly impacted job roles can pivot to other jobs within across sectors. And then the 14 emerging roles identified, 88% are AI and digital related, 6% in green economy, and 6% in advanced technologies. Employers are increasingly seeking talents with proficiency in AI, digitalization, and green skills, including for non-tech roles. So these are the 26 highly impacted roles in the next 3 to 5 years. This is from the phase 1. We can see that in E&E sector, production operator and planning officer will be impacted. In GBS, there are 18 jobs that will be replaced by automation. And in medical devices, there are 6 jobs, roles that will be impacted. So, if you are thinking to have a career in GBS, then you need to really get yourself equipped with AI and digitalization knowledge and skills, because these are all the jobs that will be obsolete in the next 3 to 5 years. In-demand skills across 3 sectors: basic skills like adaptability and resiliency, cognitive skills, communication, critical thinking, digital and AI fluency, empathy, innovative thinking, learning agility, sustainability awareness, teamwork and collaboration. These are all basic skills that are in demand. AI and digital skills, big data analytics, cloud computing, data engineering, data management, data visualization, data storyboarding, network security, system thinking, emerging technology synthesis, programming, coding, and scripting. And in the skills in green economy are eco-design principles, sustainable business practices, waste management, environmental awareness, environmental remediation, sustainable manufacturing, green manufacturing design and implementation, renewable energy, sustainable utilities management, and environment, health, and safety. So we at Talent Corp are constantly trying to find a solution, be it a short-term solution, medium-term solution, or long-term solutions. So one of the solutions that we are embarking right now to address these issues is what we call My Mahir Future Skills Talent Council, FSTC, which is driven by sector. So what it means is that FSTC council members are from companies. So for example, the CEO of Inari, the COO of Intel. So these people, the council members, they will feedback to Talent Corp what are the training that they would like their workforce to undergo. So it can be existing employees or for future employees and also for future skill. And Talent Corp will provide the fund. So the objective is to cultivate a skilled, diverse, and innovative workforce that derives excellence, safety, and sustainability within the sector. The vision is to cultivate a dynamic and innovative sector workforce that leads the industry into a future defined by excellence, safety, and sustainability and adaptability evolving sector landscape. And the mission is to bridge the gap between industry requirements and workforce capabilities and to nurture a highly adaptable talent pool capability. So if there is any training provider in this webinar, you can reach out to us on how to be our training provider, where you have to give us a proposal with list of trainings that you can offer to the companies, and let us know how the training can enhance the talent pool's marketability, and the duration of the training, so that we can make the assessment. And if you are shortlisted, then we will call the company, the training provider company, to give a pitching session to the council member. Okay, so this is the business model. We are trying to get the training provider to offer programs or courses that are industry driven. So the industry that the council members are from industry, they will feedback to us, and we find the suitable training provider to provide all this training to ensure that the talent pool that we have right now, future talent pool, are industry ready and industry driven. Okay. Another solution is what we call GIAT10 initiative. G stands for government, I stands for industry, A stands for academia, and T stands for training provider, where government provide financial incentive for R&D efforts. financial support to upskill and reskill employees, pool the existing infrastructure to serve as a training center, and industry, they can, have in-house training for their people and development, talent development program, talent retention agencies, talent retention strategies, how to make sure that, have a program, have uh, any perks that can retain their employees in their workforce, strengthen industry and academic collaboration where industry give relevant feedback to the academia so that the academia side can come up with a curricula that are industry driven and offer courses that are industry relevant to make sure that the students or the graduates produce are industry ready to join the workforce. For the academia, the education curriculum need to be refreshed. Sorry, starting from preschool.
Pukul 5 lebih.
Sorry, and extend the internship program to more than 3 months. So right now, in general, we have more academia that are having their students to have at least 6 months of internship program. The internship program is very essential because this is the time where students can get hands-on experience on how it is to be one of the workers in an industry to get them ready to enter the workforce. For the training providers, develop micro-credentials training programs and also onboard certified trainers. So the GIAT 3 enablers, establish an impact study implementation and monitoring unit, IMU, to oversee execution of the initiatives potentially led by Talent with FSTC, develop a policy to mandate industry players to upskill and reskill their workforces impacted by AI, digitalization, and green economy, and create a talent data repository, TDR, to collate, assess, update, and project the demand and supply of skilled workforce by each sector. So, okay, that wraps up my presentation on what we have done and how AI are being adopted in private sector and in public sector. So it's going to be AI is going to engulf more areas, more sectors. So my humble advice is everybody just get ready to be transformed. Okay, so thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you, Mrs. Zura, for your valuable insight into AI-powered decision making and its impact on organization efficiency. Mrs. Zura, in your opinion, what are the key difference in AI adoption between the public and private sectors, and how can organization accelerate AI integration?
Okay, in my agency, we are not fully public sector, but we are like a badan berkanun. I would say that the adoption of AI in public sector and in implementation agency is not as aggressive as in the private sector. So mostly I think we use ChatGPT and other, maybe for doing research and to get more information. Whereas in private sectors, especially in manufacturing, in electrical and electronics, medical devices, the AI adoption is pretty advanced because to the companies, if they can use AI, they can use a robot or automation, can do faster, more accurate job. So it's pretty essential for the private sector to adopt this AI digitalization in this day and age. So I think that for an organization to use AI is they have to make sure that they know where to invest, because some of the automation is very expensive. It depends on the capital. So the organization needs to identify their needs first in order to ensure that if they have an investment in AI, it will give them a remarkable return of investment, ROI.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Zara. It is inspiring to hear how AI is shaping workforce planning and driving efficiency in both public and private sector. Okay, closing our lineup of distinguished speaker is technologist Dr. Muhammad Imran Sawa, which is the CEO of Datalytica Sendirian Berhad and a leading expert in Industry 4.0 and digital transformation. With over 18 years of experience, he has been instrumental in advancing AI, IoT, big data, and cybersecurity solutions across various industries, including smart manufacturing, smart supply chain, and smart cities. He also served as an Industry 4.0 advisor, MDEC talent expert, and an adjunct associate professor at the IB Highcom Universities. Today, Dr. Imran will take us through the journey of AI transformation from data to AI agents, exploring how business can harness AI-driven innovation to stay ahead in the digital era. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Imran.
Thank you, Mr. Ayman. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to previous speaker, Ms. Azura, for giving us the good insights about the skills and how government is transforming. Apart from Ms. Azura, we would like to thank Mr. Arshad and Dr. Seema as well for valuable insight about AI agents. So let me share my screen. Can you able to see my screen?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay, so I have enabled AI, means speech to text, which is also using artificial intelligence for the clarity of what I'm speaking about. And AI itself is everywhere. And some of us, we don't know that we are using AI. Um, so, um, on our side, for example, we are looking into transformation, end-to-end transformation on strategy development, AI use cases, recommendation, AI maturity assessment, data analytics and governance consultancy, AI use pilot development, CX consultancy, and trainings for some of the MNCs and GLCs, not only in Malaysia, but we are also transforming other neighboring region like Indonesia, Philippines, and Thailand, especially. Um, this gives us a very unique perspective of how transformation is happening in this part of the world as compared to Western part of the world. I think in the eastern part of the world, the transformation is quite much rapid. For instance, China, Korea, Japan, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, and other areas. And this transformation is really much aligned with how rapidly AI is transforming. 4 years back, there was no LLM. 2 years back, there was no SLM. And now last year there was no AI agents, or AI agents were just started to give birth, but the impact they are creating is huge. And on our side, we are looking into end to end, which is not only in the skills development part, but also in terms of facilitating and transforming the journey of enterprise from manufacturing, automotive, banking, supply chain towards application deployment, which is using an AI. So, in short, we are driving innovation using data and AI. Now, this is the framework of Datalytica, very extensive framework. You can able to find good framework from EY, from McKinsey, from PricewaterhouseCoopers, Accenture. But the comprehensive framework in terms of transformation, it's quite rare. So in this framework, what we do is that we look into the establishment. So there are stakeholders like Ms. Azura is representing the government side, where they will be looking into policy development and grant incentives for the ecosystem. Enterprise like us are collaborating in partnership and doing the technology transfer, and university academia is looking into R&D and C, and also talent development and startup ecosystem. And that leads to the operational excellence of not only industry but the whole ecosystem in a country. In any organization that is moving towards AI transformation, that you will able to look into the Center of Excellence part, COE, which is looking into technology innovation, agile culture, operation excellence, talent development, data governance, and strategic vision. And AI agents or data and AI is leveraging every part of this ecosystem. So in the transformation, for example, there can be many sectors which are transforming. Most rapid transformation I am witnessing right now in Malaysia, Thailand, and neighboring countries is on manufacturing and also in automotive sector. But other sectors are also grooming. And in each sector, they are horizontals. So horizontals are um, there are different departments. Each department is having a data, and they are looking into technology verticals, which is cyber physical system, hybrid cloud infrastructure, data governance, analytics, and artificial intelligence ecosystem. So today I will be looking into AI ecosystem, how AI is reshaping, and my title is AI transformation journey from data and AI. AI is nothing without the data, and data needs to be created by cyber physical system. And it has to be stored in the cloud and having an analytics ability to move towards AI transformation. But when you are developing an AI ecosystem, you are looking into the use case prioritization for each of the departments. And then from there, you are looking into step-by-step approach, which is on data transformation, descriptive analytics, then proceeding to diagnostic analytics, then predictive analytics, prescriptive analytics, and cognitive analytics. So cognitive analytics, where the AI agents are contributing in terms of faster, rapid transformation and acting as a catalyst in this regard. So in the organization everywhere, they are looking into maturity assessment to understand where they are and where they should be in terms of people, process, technology, data, and strategy. And then they will be looking into the transformation in terms of people transformation, where mostly in the industry. Ms. Azura also just now mentioned that there are some jobs that will be obsolete and there will be new jobs are coming. So we need to look into the specialists converting into general knowledge about transformation, then giving a data literacy as a part of another pillar, and then giving Python programming, machine learning, deep learning, and so on. So from AI transformation to the com sector will be looking into. And when we go more deeper inside each department, we usually do the use case design thinking process to understand the problem and how AI can able to monetize. You cannot fit AI in everywhere. You have to understand the value creation, which is ROI. Or right now we are saying RODI, return of digital investment. And in that return of digital investment, we are looking into how much the value creation AI is doing. If it is minor or small, then we don't go into implementation, rather than we able to look for another use case that have more higher monetization. And then data transformation phase are basically where cleaning the data will be happening and then moving towards descriptive diagnostic and predictive analytics for the ROI. And the metrics that we look into is on the vision, OKR, and also for the people transformation. So this is basically the framework that our team is basically looking into for the transformation of the industry as a whole. We are rapidly growing, contributing because we are collaborating with our client, not as a client, but as a stakeholder, where we can able to transfer knowledge to each other and co-create the solution itself. Okay. So let me move to my next slide. So in 2024, the CEO's AI is in the boardroom as a main topic. And there was a discussion among the CEOs. I was been part of many boardroom meetings and also networking event where people are looking into how to monetize the data through AI and create a value impact. But definitely in this part of the world, a data center is a hot cake right now. But these data center, why there's a need for the data center in the first place? Because you need to have run the AI models. Okay, why not we can able to run the AI models in a computer or in a server? The answer is for machine learning, for predictive analytics. Yes, our data set is structured data that is not that much big enough. Deep learning become more complicated where we have unstructured data in the form of images and videos that require model training and the GPUs. But why data centers? The reason is that Gen AI LLM-based ecosystem and also AI agent require huge data set. And those huge data set require a very big infrastructure that can be only provided by the data center itself. So we are seeing a rising growth of LLM, which is large language model as a part of a Gen AI. And then from there, they are leveraging on AI agents. So still there are companies that are looking into monetization. So in Malaysia, you will able to see companies that haven't started their journey even now, but they are thinking about it. I hope it's not too late. And then there are companies who are implementing machine learning and deep learning. And there are companies they are right now embarking their journey on LLM generative models and also looking into uh, AI agents. And the best way to look into is an exploration in the form of agile ecosystem where you are designing a MVP, minimum viable project, and then see whether there is a monetization opportunity. If it is, then you are scaling it. So this is basically in the boardroom. I have taken this from IoT Analytics Research 2024. Now, in the ecosystem of manufacturing, because manufacturing ecosystem is similar to automotive, and automotive is similar to the other factories and industry right now, there are different technologies that are basically working together in terms of harmonization. The goal is to have a seamless implementation of hyper connected ecosystem where we can able to get the data and then process the data on the edge, not cloud centric, but hybrid centric, edge, private cloud, and public cloud, and then moving towards the monetization phase. And in the bird's eye view, there are some technologies, there are lean practices, and there are sustainable practices. So for every monetization of project development, we always start with design thinking, which is most underrated ecosystem or phase in Malaysia and this in ASEAN or in Asia. But in US and in Europe, you will able to see that design thinking or AI design thinking is one of the most crucial and critical phase to understand not only the problem, but also collaborate with uh, people-centric or customer-centric approach, which is part of Industry 5.0, identify the primary, secondary, and tertiary stakeholders, and also to look into ideation phase and prototype phase in terms of delivery that is required early on in terms of visibility and also expected outcome in the form of RODI. And then after that, you do the lean startup, and then you do agile implementation, Six Sigma, and basically deploy in an agile incremental fashion. So just to quick recap, descriptive analytics is the first step always where we are understanding what happened in the past. Diagnostic is why it happened in the past. We do RCA. Predictive is where we are predicting using artificial intelligence, machine learning to predict the data of the future, and prescriptive analytics is on the decision making. So the 1 and 2 require HI, human intelligence. 3 and 4 require AI. And in the broader term, those ecosystem about scalable, connected equipments, process, people, environment, and product are linked with IoT, big data analytics, and those analytics-based data-driven organization to monetize, optimize, and increase the productivity of the asset in a factory, for example. And they are in also in terms of implementing the compliance of ESG ecosystem in the factories, because at the end we also need to know how we can reduce the carbon blueprint. So in this journey, that my the title of my talk is about AI transformation journey from data to AI agent. Machine learning and deep learning is basically the first phase of AI monetization. So machine learning have its limitation. Mostly it is used in structured data in the form of alphabet and also in the form of alphanumeric numbers to do the prediction. And then from that prediction, basically you are looking into prescriptive analytics in the form of more deeper, sophisticated data in the form of images and videos. So in this slide, I wanted to show to you that the 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 maximum that you can do for machine learning is to number one, gauge and measure. Number two, barcode reading and identification. Number three, to check whether the something object is there or not. Number four is on the robotic guidance. That's it. In terms of structured data, you can able to have a prediction by implementing naive Bayes, KGBoost, and also other machine learning model to do the prediction. And those prediction are in the form of a number which have an accuracy of 96, 97, 98%. But more advanced, sophisticated next step is on deep learning because the data itself is on the structure and unstructured base or semi-structure based to look into complex cosmetic inspection segmentation, texture material classification, assembly verification, deform and variable feature location, and complex OCR, which are being distorted by with the help of deep learning. So this is the second step. Now the third step is more on monetizing implementation into different use cases across the different departments of the factories or value chain or an organization. In this example, how deep learning is more sophisticated because it is using artificial intelligence neural network. And neural network is not something a new topic. Neural network is basically mathematical concept that was formed and evolved in the last century. But because we were not having that much computation power in the form of running the big data analytics based ecosystem, that's why it was not thrived. But now it's been thriving because we have a GPUs and ecosystem to develop. Okay. So the next step is on AI agents, but there are two type of agents, which is on rule-based agents and LLM-based agent. As you know that LLM is large language model that require enormous data, and it can give, just like Mr. Arshad mentioned in the first slot of in the speaking of this session, that those large data will able to generate an answer. It's not copy pasting an answer, generating an answer based on the question which has been asked by us. Now, this is just a communication. So there is an effective communication between human and AI. So it's just a communication. But AI agent is based on those communication is to take an action on behalf of humans. So in terms of operation bias, uh, rule-based AI agent execute based on predefined rules and logic, where LLM-based AI agents are generating response based on learning patterns from the training data set, which is huge. Decision process for the rule-based agent, RB RB base is on deterministic approach that require input from the human and from the process, whereas LLM base is more on probabilistic response depending on the context and training data. So we are in a phase where AI is having an intelligence like a human, because if you are asking questions from the Chat GPT or DeepSeek, it is giving an answer like a human. For example, it's like an assistant. Like if I'm in Singapore and I would like to have an itinerary for 3 days, where should I stay? How should I go to different places for the meetings? Instead of searching in Google, I can able to ask the requirement, and Gen AI can give me a a full-fledged agenda, and also what type of MRT that I should be using, what time it should be, and how much will be the cost, and where I should be staying. It's just like a human. Means human is basically giving a recommendation. But in order to go one step further, we are in a quantum leap in which we are transitioning to a phase where AI will able to take things on our behalf, do things on our behalf. So there are two ways to look into. Number one is they will be wiping out human definitely in terms of the work, but they also require continuous improvement. So this means that um, apart from reinforcement learning, the maintaining, training, and improving the models require humans. So there will be human dependency on the highest level. In terms of flexibility, the traditional rule-based agents or chatbots or other things basically are having a limited predefined cases. And in case of LLM-based agent can adapt dynamically to the various input in this regard. I have less time, so I will try to make it a bit faster. Scalability wise is the traditional chatbots or agents require less data, but AI based agents require more large scale data that give a transparency, ability, and computation and use case validation. So in terms of architecture, this is more technical slide. In terms of architecture, the first thing is to have a data automation pipeline. That data automation pipeline will able to help to input the data for the descriptive diagnostic analytics and also for machine learning ecosystem, deep learning ecosystem, and LLM. So the data can come from batch data or stream data. This batch data can be from relation database, from files, and from the documents where the stream data is coming from IoT and machines. Those data is basically transformed, means that you are saving the data in the data lake, transforming, cleaning it, and input in data warehouse, which is semi-refined data, and then you are going for different data mart. Why? So data warehouse is centralized repository. Data mart is basically repository based on the different departments. So the ownership of the data belongs to a department before it will go for the reports like Power BI, Spotfire, Tableau, and others. And this automation will able to be continuous. So at least AI models can able to learn every second and maintain the accuracy. So this is basically data source, data processing, and serving. Then after the descriptive and diagnostic analytics, then you proceed with machine learning for the structured data. So the data from data lake and data warehouse will be input to machine learning pipeline for EDA, which is exploratory data analysis, data preparation, validation, model training, testing, and deployment, and using hyperparameter to improve the model serving. So at least it will start predicting the data and result accurately, and it's a continuous form. And then after machine learning for the deep learning, definitely you are having a feature store and then your applications are running on the Docker container, for instance. So you need to look into the model training or in data annotation, because for unstructured data, images and videos, there is another mechanism to train the data and clean the data in terms of serving the data models or AI models into a pipeline for model training, testing, and serving and notification in terms of the output. In LLM ops, which is even third, the next step is you have a large set of the data and APIs to communicate with the AI agents or LLM agent that are basically communicating with not only humans but also acting upon the advice and transforming the process. So this process is from automation to smart automation. Smart automation means that the process are smart to make a decisions, to understand the different scenarios and make a decisions on that. Okay, so AI agents landscape is huge. It may not be covered, but I would like to mention that for your reference, you can able to approach us anytime. And what we looking into AI agents is what are the tools that are in services that AI agent can be applied. Agent has to be microservices based because we are not looking to monolithic, rather than serve those services in terms of Docker container, so at least they can scale without any issue. And then there are a lot of use cases that are monetized in terms of smart automation in manufacturing, automotive supply chain, and even banks, where We are in a transition phase from those people who are working on manual things and they are being wiped out by AI, just like Mrs. Zura mentioned last time. This is an architecture example of implementing in Microsoft Azure. We don't implement the AI agents on the cloud centric, but rather than make it hyper centric in terms of orchestration and also in terms of implementation. I have less time. So AI agent use cases in manufacturing, it is helping in terms of not only identifying the defect, which has been done by deep learning, but what will be the next process? It's not always identifying, but rectifying as well, so it can be minimized. Assembly line integration can also be used by AI agents. Real-time monitoring and also improvement and taking an action and based on notification can be done. Process optimization, energy management, how we can able to manage the energy and consume. Research on market trends, consumer preferences, historical data analysis, innovation. Now, this is the dangerous part, innovation and ideation with human. So it's a collaboration. And then material research and on designing input. So you are making a design and you are getting an input as a AI. So previously we were training AI. Now we are using AI to get trained. So this shift is quite dangerous because this means that we will be there will be a time that we are relying so much on AI that AI can manipulate things, and that's where we need to have a check and balance in the form of AI ethics and other factors. In terms of AI agent use cases in logistics, for example, what are the current trend? Less um, cost, more optimized vendor selection. Previously, we were doing manually by procurement, but right now AI agents is helping us, and also to understand how much yield is being lost. What are the fleet management roadblocks and vendor management, inventory management to check. In Industry 3.0, we have an inventory holding cost. In Industry 4.0, we don't want it to hold the cost of the inventory. Our goal is to uh, distribute as much as possible so that there will be no inventory stay. And then also automating customer support. So you will be surprised that the customer support group, mostly in the world, was having an issue of depression because customer support is when we are giving support to the client and client is or customer is not happy or having some issue. So most of the time, customer will able to um, not in a happy mode and try to say things to people are depressed. Those call center people who are attending the calls of the customer around the world will go to the depression. So right now, AI agents are helping them in terms of having a voice communication where the customer may not differentiate whether he or she is communicating with the human or with the machine. And also with using NLP, it will be too much advanced that it will able to talk in different languages and different slang as well. So supply chain optimization is also where the AI agent is looking into. And then also in terms of sales. So sales pipeline can also be helped in terms of automation, monitoring of the sales call, recurring information, extracting the contact information from different clients in the internet, customer segmentation, sales prospect, churn prediction, and also lead generation are some of the use cases that can be monetized using AI agents. My second last slide is on the landscape. So if you would like to learn and also implement a POC in terms of AI agent, definitely you need to assess your data readiness that I have discussed in the beginning, your document process, community process, because there will be a lot of documents, a lot of data at Excel, and then what are the use cases you want to solve. You need to check about the technology stacks, which is mentioned on the right side, and also establishing a governance. And then next step is to manage the change and training of the programs to upskill, start small by pilot project, and then monitor, train, and monitor the feedback of AI agent to implement that. So these are on the right side, you will able to see different layers from the hardware, infrastructure, database, models, of AI agents and then tools, memory, and front end that are integrated together in the form of implementation of AI technology stack. I will conclude my presentation is this, that digital and AI transformation landscape is quite huge. It's a journey, and in this journey you have up and downs, and but the goal is to minimize the risk, and small baby step towards the right direction is more important as compared to big step towards wrong. And you may require some facilitation. So the facilitation in terms of policy making, in terms of rules and regulation, in terms of government tax incentive or grants will be provided by the government. Enterprise like us can able to assist in terms of the transformation, and university is basically giving you the manpower which has been needed in terms of implementation of those initiatives. This is the ecosystem that I have discussed in the beginning. Okay, so with that, I would like to conclude my session, and I will appreciate if there are some questions from the audience or from anyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Imran, for your enlightening insight into the AI transformation journey. Your expertise has set a strong foundation for today's discussion. Okay, now that let's move on to the Q&A session. Please feel free to type your question in the comment section or unmute yourself to ask directly. We appreciate your participation and look forward to your insight. Okay, while waiting for the participants' question, I do have one question for Dr. Imran, which is based on your experience, what are the key challenges companies face when transitioning from data-driven models to AI agent?
Okay, thank you very much for that answer. So most of the companies is not even reached that level of implementing an AI agents. So the biggest challenge for them is to extract the data from different process, and then also structure the data in a way that can be given to an application used as an AI agents. Now that data needs to be continuous. This means that that continuous data is coming from different process in the organization, and different process on the organization has to be IoT connected. So IoT machines, IoT data, process data needs to be in a pipeline which is sending the data continuously to the server or cloud. And then from there, it is looking into automation of transformation and cleaning, and then moving towards descriptive diagnostic, predictive, prescriptive, and cognitive analytics. So the data extraction from the machines is one issue. The second issue is getting the data from humans. Most of the organization are facing a retention problem, and then that retention problem is basically creating a difficulty for an organization to move forward. So how now, right now, many of our clients is looking into how they can able to get the data from the people, and then they can able to give it to those AI agents or LLM based models. So when there is any problem, not only they can give a recommendation, but also solution step by step to the humans, especially those who are joining recently after graduating. So they don't have to go through lengthy process of training, rather than can be a customized process of specialized training.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Imran. Also, another question from Nur Halifa. How can AI be leveraged for collaboration rather than competition in industry?
That's a very critical question. Thank you so much for asking. Um, Leveraging on AI. So Industry 4.0 is how AI can able to make light out factories, factories without light. Now there's a new concept, it's called Industry 5.0, which is human-centric. How we can able to bring human together with AI to create a harmonization and holistic approach ecosystem for thriving towards AI transformation. So AI can able to use for collaboration, meaning you can able to collaborate with the Gen AI or LLM based ecosystem by providing the data and also extracting the data and recommendation. So I believe that C for competition and C for collaboration will always be there. The competition should be not with others, rather than the competition should be with your own self, how you are better person in terms of in terms of leader, how you are better in terms of your process today as compared to yesterday. So the competition will be between you and yourself of yesterday. And the collaboration will require not only the human stakeholder, but also the stakeholder, which is AI. So now AI is basically having an intelligence like a human or any expert, and how we can able to have a collaboration to speed up the process of innovation using data and AI. This is at least my prospect of collaboration and competition.
Okay,
But
thank
of
you.
course,
Okay.
if you wanted to have a competition in terms of different factories, you need to look into your competitors. So the competitors are implementing that monetization using AI to reduce the um, downtime, improve the process optimization, reduce the cost. Yeah, that is a competition that you need to look into with your competitors, because if you're implementing the AI technologies and that will reduce the cost, that will able to affect basically the overall value costing for your client. So client will always go for less money. So how you can able to compete with another factory or your competitors by implementing fast, making your product faster or service faster as compared to your competitors.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Imran, for your response. Okay, as we wrap up today's webinar, I want to sincerely thank our esteemed speakers for their insightful presentations and our audience for their active participation.
There is a command in which one of the participant is requesting for slide. So I believe that the organizer will be sending the slides to the audience later.
Okay, sure. Okay, I will send the recording and also the slide to all participants after this webinar. And then, okay, before we conclude, I would like to take a moment to capture this experience with a group photo. So if you don't mind, let's open our camera and I will take a few screenshots and I will upload inside our social media. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, another one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you again and
Aiman, I saw a question from Wendy. She
yeah.
asked for a last slide correspondence.
Yes.
So, is that the one that Dr. Imran was referring to? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I will share the slide with you later.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Azura.
Welcome.
Okay, thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you at our future event.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.